Peter Griffin has had some of the most ridiculous jobs in television history. From toy factory worker to NFL player, his resume is absolutely insane. Today we're counting down every major job Peter has ever had. Let's get into it. Peter's very first job was at the Happy-Go-Lucky toy factory as a safety inspector. He worked there from the pilot episode Death Has a Shadow, all the way to Mr. Saturday Night. Peter was fired from this job 3 times and threatened with firing 3 more times.
Hey, how's your job search going?
It sucks, Brian. I already been through 2 jobs this week. I got fired off of that commercial.
He let dangerous items like blades and dynamite slip through onto children's toys. The job ended when Peter accidentally killed his boss, Mr. Weed, with a dinner roll. The company then became the Happy-Go-Lucky Terminal Disease Institute. This job set the tone for Peter's entire career, completely incompetent but somehow employed. After losing his job at the toy factory,
your negligence has damaged this company's reputation. You're fired!
Peter bought a boat and became a fisherman. The boat was called the SS, more powerful than Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk put together.
There she is, boys. The SS more powerful than Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk put together.
Peter worked this job from a fish out of water to the perfect castaway. He was terrible at it. With no experience and bad advice from other fishermen, Peter struggled until he hit the jackpot of fish in the middle of a powerful storm. The job didn't last long, but Peter returned to fishing in season 20 with a revamped version of the same boat. So technically, Peter is still a fisherman to this day. In Mr. Saturday Night, Peter became obsessed with becoming a Renaissance jousting knight, and surprisingly, he was actually good at it. Peter impressed everyone with his jousting skills until he met the Black Knight, voiced by Will Ferrell. The Black Knight didn't appreciate Peter trying to waltz into his industry. The Black Knight also didn't appreciate Peter's advances at his wench. This job lasted exactly 1 episode, but it's one of the few jobs where Peter showed actual talent. Peter became the starting center for the New England Patriots after impressing Tom Brady at a party.
Tom.
You're Tom Brady from the New England Patriots. Oh, man, I gotta tell you, you kick ass, man. In fact, I was just saying it.
Brady saw Peter plow through people on a bathroom run and recruited him on the spot.
I've never seen a guy your size who could move like that. How would you like to play for the New England Patriots?
The job suited Peter perfectly until an excessive celebration for a fumble recovery and touchdown run. As punishment, he was heavily fined and traded to the London Silly Nannies to live out his football career in exile. His NFL career was over just like that. In E Paterbus Unum, Peter discovered that his property wasn't technically recognized by Rhode Island as part of the United States, so he did what any rational person would do. He formed his own country called Ptoria.
Will be known as Ptoria. I was gonna call it Peterland, but that gay bar down by the airport already took it.
As president of Ptoria, Peter terrorized his neighbors and annexed Joe Swanson's pool, naming it Joe Hio. The United States military intervened and forced Peter to cede Ptoria back to America. But for one brief moment, Peter Griffin was a head of state. This is probably Peter's most ambitious job ever. When Chris led to the arrest of a local criminal,
Hey, that's him, number 6.
Peter gave the convict Chris's school schedule and personal information.
Maybe you've seen him. His name is Chris Griffin. Oh, wait a sec. You know what? I think I got a picture of him. Chris messed it up by writing his school schedule on a list of his...
The criminal came after Chris, so the Griffins were relocated to the boondocks for witness protection. Peter became the new town sheriff with Brian as his deputy. They were completely terrible at their jobs and ticked off all the townsfolk.
Yeah, you're drunk. You're drunk. Give me your keys.
They spent most of their time dodging the criminal who learned Chris's whereabouts.
Aha! I got you now, Griffin.
Eventually, Peter had to save his son since he was the local authority.
Call me Officer T.J. Hooker. Sheriff Officer T.J. Hooker. And this
The
is...
job ended when the family moved back to Quahog. When Lois took control of a local theater production of The King and I, Peter wanted to be involved. Lois appointed him as producer, thinking he couldn't do much damage.
You should be a producer.
A producer? Gee, I don't know.
Peter immediately started recasting the entire play.
A penguin.
There is no talking penguin in The King and I.
There is in Peter Griffin...
Lois was forced out as director, and Peter took complete control.
We destroyed that. You want to be the director? Fine. I quit.
Me direct? I don't know what to say, except...
Peter's version of The King and I was nothing like the original.
Human android. You may call me... Anna.
But somehow, it was a massive success.
Oh my God.
This proved that Peter's terrible creative vision can somehow work. Peter ran for school board president against Lois because she wanted to oust his favorite teacher.
I'm not giving that lunatic his job back, and that's final.
Peter didn't care about the cause, he just wanted to show up his wife.
Well, not only am I gonna win this election, I am gonna eat your nose.
It was obvious to everyone that Lois was more qualified, but Peter had scandalous photographs that Lois gave him early in their marriage.
Just a little present your mom gave me for our anniversary.
And he used them to win.
Children's future in the hands of this? I know, I don't.
Peter won in a landslide, but had no idea what to do once elected. He made terrible decisions and proved he only ran to beat Lois. Classic Peter. All ambition, zero plan. In Erotica, Peter became a successful author in the erotic genre after buying a disappointing novel called Much Ado About Humping from an adult bookstore. His friends urged him to write his own erotica.
Yeah, a robot. Awesome.
Whoa, that is hot. I gotta get a copy of that.
Yeah, you got some serious talent there, Peter.
And Peter became an overnight success. His books were published under Carter Pewterschmidt's company, with Betty White doing the audiobook versions. Everything went belly up when an aroused driver caused a bad car accident while listening to the audiobook.
I better take my shirt off.
The driver sued Carter Pewterschmidt, and Peter's writing career ended.
My client was injured listening to this audiobook. We're suing you for every penny you've got. What?
Peter's books were too powerful for their own good. After Mr. Weed died, the happy-go-lucky toy factory became El Dorado Tobacco Company. When Peter started pushing management to create toys that marketed smoking to children, they made him president of the company.
Care about kids?
No, but I'm not the president.
Yes, you are.
If you want to be.
Peter had Congress in the palm of his hand, testifying that smoking was safe. He brought a toy train as a visual aid, but when Peter realized Stewie had started smoking because of his work, he quit on the spot.
Lois was right. Children under 4 shouldn't smoke.
He disowned the entire company. This is one of the few times Peter showed actual morals. Peter founded his own church called the Church of the Fawns after standing up to his overly religious father, Francis. It started when Francis insisted that Stewie be baptized at a Catholic church.
The baby isn't even baptized!
All right, look, Dad, I don't want you to hate me, all right? So I'll make
When the holy water was tainted, Francis baptized Stewie anyway, and Stewie got sick.
Stewie, you don't look so good. Oh, baby, you're burning up. Oh my God, Stewie!
Peter stood up to his father by disowning Catholicism and starting his own religion to praise the fawns from happy days.
Be with you.
And also with you.
Let us
The church didn't last long, but it showed Peter will create a religion just to spite his dad. When Meg taped The Family during their most insane moments, reality television producers came knocking. The Griffins became overnight stars with their own reality show. The show documented how dim the family truly was, and America loved it. They were famous for being dysfunctional. Meg eventually realized she'd unleashed a beast and opted out. The family was replaced by real actors, including Tom Arnold as Peter. The Griffins lived in exile from their own home while the show was being filmed. When Lois's shoplifting demons resurfaced and she escaped from prison, the entire Griffin family had to move to Chinatown to hide. Everyone picked up odd jobs to survive. Chris became a rickshaw driver, Stewie worked in a sweatshop, and Peter became a sumo wrestler. Peter was recruited because of his immovable weight. He was actually perfect for the job. This job ended when the family moved back to Quahog after Lois's legal issues were resolved. Peter has literally been Death. In Death is a Bitch. Death arrived at the Griffin household to claim Peter's life after he faked his death to avoid hospital bills. Death broke his leg and couldn't take anyone's life. As Peter's redemption and a way to keep him alive, Death forced Peter to do his job. Peter ultimately flaked out when he was ordered to crash a plane containing the cast of Dawson's Creek. He refused to kill them. Peter was literally too incompetent to be Death itself. The #1 job is Peter's main gig, Pawtucket Brewery. This is the job he's had the longest and the one that defines his character. Peter started in the shipping department in Jungle Fever and has worked there ever since. Well, mostly. He's been fired 4 times, almost fired twice, and threatened with firing twice. He was briefly promoted to brewer, but got demoted for being too stupid. He later became a watchman after falling into a vat. Despite everything, Peter still works at Pawtucket Brewery to this day. It's his most stable job, which is saying something because he's terrible at it. This job represents everything about Peter. He's incompetent, he's irresponsible, but somehow he always keeps his job. Before we wrap up, here are some other jobs Peter has had that we didn't cover in detail. Peter was a mayor and post-apocalyptic savior during the Y2K scare and dot boom. He was an anti-drug advocate who infiltrated James Woods High as Lando Griffin. He started his own TV channel called PTV with shows like the Peter Griffin Side Boob Hour. He owned a restaurant called Big Pete's House of Munch until he refused to serve disabled customers. Peter was a policeman with Joe and Quagmire. He was a television personality with his What Really Grinds My Gears segments. He was a servant in Carter Pewterschmidt's household after discovering he was an illegal immigrant. And he founded the National Association of American Fat People, which he still runs to this day. Peter Griffin has done everything, and he's been terrible at all of it. So there you have it, every major job Peter Griffin has had in Family Guy. From toy factory worker to the Grim Reaper to president of his own country, Peter has done it all. Which job was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.